stop Steeler Nation from filling the stands at a rain-soaked Acrisure Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start the drive with Harris. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And the ball is knocked out, and the Colts pick it up. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as a nice run there gets him down to the 6-yard line. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They'll look to throw here. Right side complete. That's Woods. Touchdown. Jelani Woods. His second touchdown on the season. And the Colts use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
There to stop him, Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker.
Well, give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Pickett to his tight end, Freiermuth, for the Steeler first.
They run with Harris. And he loses the football a second time. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They'll run with Harris. Able to hang on to the ball this time, and in the process picks up the first down.
The Steelers at 1-6 now. And whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
Well, you know what they often say, winning breeds winning, but unfortunately, the flip side of that can be true.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
40 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Back to Taylor on first down.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run, and, of course, get to the quarterback.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, and I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Back to throw here. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
20, 10, touchdown Colts. Isaiah McKenzie, 49 yards.
And the Colts have moved out in front.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw, Pickett.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back.
The ball is free. Taylor lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm.
On third down, here's Taylor. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
12 more yards there and another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll drop to throw.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown.
Ashton Dulin,
38 yards.
And the Colts have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 21-7.
Steelers 7.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. He's going to air one out. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Alex Highsmith. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And take it right on the 30. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, in the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll set up a throw. He finds Taylor, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Partner, normally double coverage is reserved for receivers and tight ends, but this time they actually targeted the running back with it, and it still wasn't enough. He attacked the defense and got in a great position to haul in the catch and get a nice gain out of it.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this 2nd half.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Off play action. Pickett. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Colts are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen, a completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. And this won't be enough. A good secured tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Back to throw now on 1st down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA.
They're going to look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
The terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They turn to Harris to begin the drive.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Samson Ebukam coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
Rodgers to return it.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
Strong run, but they get to him just beyond the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And this will be swung out wide for Taylor.
And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Pickett. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Lewis.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that.
Touchdown, Indianapolis!
Jonathan Taylor, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
From the 6.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Colts pick it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Again, it's Taylor.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Colts on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for this with Evans. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
That swung out wide to Harris. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down with Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there in a 1st down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Let's go.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all.
And my goodness, another interception. John Johnson with the INT. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Evans gets it again on 2nd down. And he's got room. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now pitching it out to Evans. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was.